order. We're going to do better about Robert's rules. So you are 18, so you can do that now. Oh, that's exciting. Okay. I about said you can't do that, and then I was like, oh, you're so old. All right, so Luke Sargent calls this meeting to order. Anybody second it? All right, so I see Jennifer. So Jennifer seconds it. All in favor of starting the meeting? It'd be great. Okay, great. All right, fantastic. Okay, so we have to make sure we establish a quorum. So what we're going to do is if you are over the age of 18, if you've been worshiping with us for at least 6 months on a regular basis, and you have signed the register out there within the last year, you are eligible to vote. So I'm going to ask if you are registered to vote, if you will please stand. That you are a registered voter. Yes, if you are injured and you cannot stand, don't stand. But we need you to stand if you're a registered voter. So, yeah. So we just need to get a count real quick. Dusty's counting. That's right, Reba, I see you. You and Jennifer, they have their hands up. Okay, and Mama back there, me is... How much? 50. Yeah, we do have a quorum. Just barely, but we have a quorum. All right, good. We have a quorum. Fantastic. So you may be seated. All right. So we have established quorum, which is fantastic. So at this time, we need to approve the minutes of 2022. This is something that, once again, as we have looked back through our stuff, we have not done always great about the Roberts Rules, so we're going to make sure we're doing a better job of that because the bylaws say we're supposed to be doing that. And so in your packet that you should have received or saw online at some point in time, we need to approve the minutes from last year's meeting. So I need someone to motion to approve those minutes. Unless you, okay, Catherine Figueroa motions to approve the minutes. Michelle seconds those. And all in favor of approving the minutes as written? All right, good. All right, so if there's a little slower, yeah, I'm sorry. We can certainly do that. We'll give it just a minute. First of all, I want to say thank you to Michelle for doing this today. If everybody say thank you, Michelle. So that's great. Good. Make sure you add that to the minutes. Mort says, yeah, girl. All right. So, I love it. Okay, you good to go? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so we are now going to introduce our annual reports and the ballot. So we will go ahead and pass out the ballot. So if my ballot people will go ahead and pass out a ballot to everybody. If you have the packet, it already has a ballot in the back of it. You're welcome to use that one, or you can have another one, but just go ahead and pass out. If you're a voting member, raise your hand so they know. I know that's another distraction, but that's okay. Please just raise it up so they can get it to you, okay? All right. So the annual reports inside your packet, your yearly packet, you're going to see annual reports written by each and every department that is doing things on a regular basis. So I would encourage you to read those. Your staff has taken some time out to write that. And it does talk about some of the great things we accomplished this year. So if you don't have that packet, once again, you can go online and download it, or I think Peg is still making copies. There's a lot of pages in the packet. So, but I would encourage you guys to read through those because it is good to be reminded of what all we've accomplished this last year. One of the big things, of course, is we paid off our building. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I can't beat that. That's incredible. All right, so does everybody, if you don't have a ballot, please keep your hands up so they can get them to you. And that way we can look over the ballots because we do need to approve it. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading over the ballot for approval. And as you get it, you won't have any problem getting caught up. So the first thing on our ballot is the ratification of our leadership council. These are for 3-year terms. And so these terms, we have 6 people on our leadership council. They are prayed over. They are brought up to us from different folks, and then the staff approves them, and then they go through an approval process, and then they are contacted, and then they're asked to pray, and then make a decision to serve. So we have 2 spots that are open on our leadership council this year. Our first one is someone that's already serving on the leadership council, and that's Rebecca Batdorf. Now you may be saying, well, if she's already serving, why does she have to be brought back up again? Well, because she was finishing out someone's term. She was finishing out Lane Sutton's term. So this would be starting her first official term that's not filling in for someone else's. So you've already ratified her once. Does not mean you have to ratify her again, but there's a reason she's on the ballot, because we believe that she is a good person for the job, obviously. Now, Rebecca can't be here today because she is enjoying the sun and the surf, because she and her husband finally got to get away. Okay, Peg has some packets, so if you need a packet, not a ballot, make sure that you raise your hand now for that. Did everybody get a ballot that needs a ballot? How about this? If you need a packet, raise your right hand. If you need a ballot, raise your left hand. We'll just do that. Okay. Yeah. It is. I'm glad you said that. Okay, so the first thing we will have to make a little statement here about the ballot. That's a good point. That the top part, there is a typo. It should say 23-24 ballot. So acknowledging the fact that we have a typo right there in the very beginning. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. We will make that adjustment. So when we say here in a minute, and Michelle, if you write that down, that when we say here in a minute for ballot approval with the change of changing that to 23-24. So we have Rebecca Batdorf for this, and then we also have Brandon Schubert. Dusty will be leaving us. He's served his 6 years on the council already. Is it only 6? Feels longer than that, probably, doesn't it? But anyway, Dusty is officially aged out, as far as not age, but as far as term limit. And so he's reached his term limit. And so because of that, we have an open spot. And so we have asked Mr. Brandon Schubert to be our next person. Would you stand up so they can see you? Good. There you go. So that's what he looks like. All right, so give her an applause. Brandon and Mia have been running our food pantry for some time and been very involved, and we appreciate them both so very, very much. And a while ago, someone asked if I could find someone that was as tall as Dusty to fill in, and so they're pretty close. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, so those are the two people you'll be voting for. So you do not vote yet because we haven't approved the ballot. We have to walk through the ballot real quick. And so those are two people. You vote yes or no for them. This is a ratification process. The second thing that you're going to see is the approval of the budget. The budget, once again, has been posted, and it has been available for quite a bit of time. We have gone over the budget. The way that works, we meet and we discuss and we look at it. There's been no major cuts to the budget. We were able to keep it pretty much where we needed to be last year. We're able to keep it pretty much where we need to be this year, and working with the staff, we've asked a lot of questions. And thanks to your giving, we, unlike many churches, we have not dropped as far as that goes. So don't make me a liar. Make sure that you continue to give. That would be great to allow that to happen. And so because of that, the budget is pretty much the same. There's a few little things, if you look through it, that will be a little bit different, but most of it's because we move things from one account to another. And that was, once again, discussed at our meeting that night on that Wednesday. And then the last thing is a couple bylaw changes. These are kind of cleanup bylaw changes except for one. And all bylaw changes have to be brought before you guys as the church. So I'm going to read through those fairly quickly. Article 5, Section 3, basically this will also change later. It says any voting member may vote by being present at any scheduled or special called business meeting by absentee ballot or online ballot. Absentee ballots, this is the key point, or online ballots will not count towards obtaining a quorum. So our suggestion is to change that to any voting member may vote by being present at any scheduled special called business meeting by being absentee ballot or online ballot. Basically what that does is it will allow us to count those votes, those online votes, towards the quorum. All right? As you can see today, that there are a lot of people that can't be here. We'll approve their online votes here in a minute, hopefully. So this will allow people that do online votes that have to be out of state or away for a funeral, they'll count towards quorum, because technically their vote already counts. So we just decided that might be a good way to change that a little bit. Also, and not to mention, heaven forbid we ever have another, I'm not going to mention it, but you know what I mean, where people can't get out and do things. That way we can do our business officially. Also, Article 6, Section 1, 8 through 3, serve in a wide range of worship experiences, be active within the church's ministry. So this is for leadership and for people within the church. So all it is we just condensed it. It's just really, really wordy. And it also makes it sound like there's certain things that if they're not serving on a church committee, then they can't be on that. So we're going to change it to demonstrate discipline. Yes? Gotcha. Okay, so some of you guys may have noticed we did have a switch in the ballot. So some of you may have older ballots, which means at the top it's going to have a different name than Brandon Schubert. Do you have a ballot that says a different name than Brandon Schubert? Okay. Does everybody's ballot have Brandon Schubert as his second name? Okay, good. Okay, just checking. Because the older ballots, we had a person that was going to do it, but they can't do it for different reasons. And so because of that, we switched them out. So I just want to make sure that your ballot is the correct ballot. Thank you, Pastor Catherine. So basically we're just condensing that one so it's easier to read and makes more sense. And then Article 6, Section 1E2A, once again says that the treasurer, we just made that switch last year to where the treasurer is going to be part of the council, but not their ex officio member. But the way we wrote it last year was that they have to attend every meeting, but that's an unrealistic expectation for anybody because, once again, if they get sick or they get ill or something along those lines. So the way it reads is if the treasurer's not there, that we can't have the meeting and we still have to do business. So we're making the switch that says the treasurer will attend and or supply the monthly financial report. So they will still give what they need to give if they can't be there. And then the last one is the treasurer will assist by acting as a liaison with professional advisors such as Fresh Start's insurance provider, banks, businesses, vendors, and other entities where the church is requiring financial guidance. So that is a good thing. We want our treasurer to be a part of that. However, it is a limiting dialogue. It kind of makes it sound like in any purchase we make, the treasurer has to be called upon. And so we made a change that says the treasurer will assist the church leadership on a called-upon resource in some interactions with professional entities such as. So that way it says that if we need to reach out to the treasurer, if it's something that we need advice on or we need support on or they need to be involved in it, then they'll be a part of that. Does that kind of make sense? All right, so at this time, now we've read over the ballot, we need approval of the ballot, and we'll have discussion after that, so we can't even discuss the ballot till we approve it. So does anyone make a motion to approve the ballot with the caveat of changing the date at the top? Okay, Jason Linger makes our first, and then Jim Ryan making our second. Okay, does anybody have any questions about the ballot before we finish it up? Yes. Uh-huh.
We approve the absentee and online voting to establish a quorum. How does that work, I guess, in the order of the business meeting? We would have to basically establish a quorum before we can approve it, before we can approve the online absentee.
That's correct. Yeah, we would approve the people as voters as far as the quorum goes, and then we would approve their votes separately. Does that make sense?
So there would basically be a step to
That's correct. Yeah, there's some other places that do it, so I just looked to see what they do. So that seems to be workable. Any other questions? Awesome. All right, so all in favor of approving the ballot then, as is, just minus the change of the date. Yes, okay, fantastic. All in favor, that's a yay or a nay. Any opposed? Okay. All right, so we approved the ballot. All right, and at this time, we will go ahead and allow you to vote. So please go ahead and mark your ballots accordingly. If you vote yes or no, there is no maybe, and don't abstain because that doesn't really work so well. So yes or no, and then we're going to have people come by and pick them up. So if our counters will do that, and they will take those and go get those counted up. Yes. Oh, man, I forgot to do it. I totally skipped that one, didn't I? Okay, so we do need to approve the online votes. So Michelle is going to come up and read the people's names that voted online. Where's the little button? It's right here. Thank you for saying that.
So the online votes that we have are Jesse Thompson, Nathan Warden, Thomas Smith, Catherine Bailey, Michael Batdorf, Rebecca Batdorf, Catherine F. Figura. Yes. Okay. Julie Shackleton, Ann Adams, Bonnie Hugg, Kenny Adams, Tony Smith, Wendell Sutton, Pamela Warden, Elaine Sutton, Peggy Choate, and Reba Vandeveer.
Okay. Do we have anyone that will motion to accept those votes? Yep. We have to accept them before we can have a question, according to Robert's Rules of Order. You motion to accept? Yep, okay. And the second, you can make a point of interest. Is that what you'd like to do? That's fine. Go ahead, do it. That's fine. No, go ahead and do your point of interest. That's fine. You can do that, but. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We can verify that. Yeah. Yeah. It's the only one. No, you don't sign it. No. No. All right. I need to make a motion to accept. All right. So Mia is making the motion to accept, and second. All right. Yeah. Connie is seconding. All in favor of accept? Like some other people did already, but that's okay. All right. Aye. All right. Anybody against? Okay. Fantastic. All right. So yes, you do not have to put your name on the ballot. Just fill out the ballot, hand it to the center. If you still have a ballot, please raise it up there so they know that you have a ballot, and we'll go from there. All right. So they're going to count the ballots, and at this time, I just want to take just a second to tell us about the building property update, just so you know. We've had a lot of different looks at the building. We have had no official bites at the back property yet. I shouldn't say the building, because our building's here. We've had some people come in and look at it and make some queries about it. So it hasn't been one of those things where it's just sat there. That's good. But we have not had anything official yet. And like I say, if you go back to our Wednesday meeting online, there's more detail there. The other thing I'd like to tell you, too, is we have met with the architect, with several people, with our building group and our leadership team and our staff. And so we have, I think, at this point, finished our initial draft of the building. And so we're going to go ahead and approve that they move forward with the 3D print of the building. So we'll hopefully have that for you next month to show you what the new building will look like. And so two things I would say to that. One, keep praying that the back property sells. And then the second thing I'd say to you is you're welcome to start giving towards the new building. I think that's a great way to do it. So part of that is faithfulness, that we believe that this will happen, and it will be a great thing for our community, and especially for our kids and our youth and our food pantries. So it'll be an amazing thing. So we're excited about that. At this time, we will go ahead and call for the meeting to be adjourned for those that want to leave. If you want to stay around, we will be happy to read you the ballots then at the end of it, or we'll also post those online directly, okay? So I need someone to make a motion for the meeting to be adjourned. I see Clark made the motion, a second. All right, Susan Gordon, second. All in favor of adjournment? All right, you guys are great. Thank you guys for being here today, and go have a great lunch, and you're welcome to stay around for the totals afterwards. We appreciate you and love you very, very much.